UFC 204, a lot of big results. One of the very big ones was Gegard Mousasi's win over Vitor Belfort. He has put that feud to rest. He is moving on, and what a performance in and out of the cage for Gegard. Let us talk to Mr. Mousasi right now on the phone. Gegard, how are you?
I'm good, Ariel. How are you?
Oh, it is great to catch up with you, my friend. Congratulations on the win. You're back home, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm in Holland now.
You know, when we talked before the fight, we talked about it being 7 years in the making. When you always dreamed of fighting Vitor Belfort when it was kind of dangled in front of you, was that how you envisioned the fight against him playing out?
Yeah, I think so, because I trained with him before. Back then I felt, training stays in training, but, I knew his style is perfect for me, and, maybe it's not at his best now, but he's still a fighter that's good to have on your record as a win.
Considering who he is and his history, is it fair to say that's one of the biggest wins of your career?
No, not at all. I've faced more dangerous opponents. I faced bigger opponents. I even competed in K1. So
yeah,
it's just name recognition, and people, people stick to that. I fought maybe more dangerous fighters than him, but without the big name like he has. So, he's not my biggest accomplishment, but he's a big name. He's a big star in UFC.
Okay, so now that you've been in the cage with him, and there's some rumors that he may retire, who knows? Do you think that he should retire? Is he not, at the level of the top middleweights in the UFC, in your opinion?
Well, I can't make that decision for him, but, I don't know. He came short a couple times, but he can always pick himself up. That's his decision.
I found it somewhat ironic that here you were in England getting cheered. The fans loved the fight. And not that long ago, 8 months ago, you were in England fighting Talis ladies and they were booing you and you were upset. Did you find that was kind of funny? Like, wow, 8 months ago, not the same people, we're not in the same city, but same country. They're giving you a hard time and now they're loving you.
No, I don't think they were booing me that much as they were booing Talis ladies, because at the end when they were booing, he was just holding on, Mm-hmm. He was just fine going to the decision and be over with it,
Right.
But, Talis ladies is difficult to finish. He's never been knocked out, I believe. And so he's the guy, maybe in a 5 round I would have stopped him, but, that's the way I had to fight him. With Vitor Belfort, different fighter, different style, so I had to fight different. Sometimes I'm aggressive, sometimes I'm just more cautious. Every different opponent, different style of fighting. I can adjust to anybody. I feel I'm very well-rounded, so I can adapt to any style.
And it was a very newsworthy event. A lot of things happened, but I kind of feel like once again, before and after, Gegard Mousasi sort of steals the show. Like your interview skills, your mic skills, you're just so compelling now on the mic. And let's be real, it wasn't always this way. Like in the past, you kind of stayed away from the media. You didn't give us much, but now it's like we're eating everything that you're saying with a big spoon, and it's just like we can't get enough of it. Where's this coming from? I know I've kind of asked you this question again, but did you have an epiphany at some point? Like, look, I need to bring my personality out. I need to talk more. I need to just say what's on my mind and look at the results. Did you ever tell yourself that?
No, I'm just being honest. People ask me questions. They ask me if I can beat Michael Bisping. Of course I can beat Michael Bisping. I used to say, yes, Michael Bisping is great. I would love to fight him. He's a great fighter, blah, blah, blah. All that respectful shit don't work, Michael Bisping is a good fighter, but besides, he's also a good trash talker, and he's probably making double what I'm making, even more probably. Now he's champion. So just not because he's a better fighter than me. I believe I'm the better fighter than him, and I think my record, everything has proven that. But he has also good at trash talking. He's good. English is his first language, so he talks, and that brings him up. And he's from UK. UFC needs someone from UK back then. It's always important for them for that market. You need luck. You have to be coming out of the right country. You have to be a good fighter, but talking helps.
Did you have a breaking point where you said enough is enough? These people doing the rankings, the media, these fighters, no one's giving me any respect. Was there a point where you were like, okay, I've had enough?
Yeah, of course, they put me, I wasn't even in top 10 on Sherdog.
Yeah.
They just recently, a couple of weeks before my fight, they had put me on number 10. I don't know. And then I was at number 9 in UFC. I said I'm number 5. And I beat Vitor Belfort. Now they put me at number 5, I don't know.
All you have to do is talk about it, and it happens.
I sometimes have to tell people how things work, I don't know. They're reporters or they don't know anything about fighting probably.
Yeah. So this is the new approach. Just tell them what you want, and now it will happen for you, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for a fight with Anderson.
Oh.
That's not going to happen, but I've heard, he's filming some movie but I got 2 fights on my contract, It's not, it's easy to say I fight the number 1 or 2 guy and they give me title shot. I don't think they're going to give me title shot. So I prefer to fight somebody very soon, and then I fight the number guy 1 to 4, and then I'm in a good position. They cannot deny me, So I'm being smart on who I'm fighting.
Yeah,
it's not that I cannot beat any of these guys. I think Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold are perfect for me. Yoel Romero is the worst matchup for me as style-wise, but those guys are perfect for me. I can fight any of those guys. So. What can I say? But it's just about being smart, knowing where my position is, and go from there.
When you brought up the idea of fighting Anderson Silva, was the UFC receptive to it?
No, I don't think so. Anderson Silva not going to fight me. He's not going to risk it because, let's say, I don't have that big of a name, so he's not going to risk that. And
yeah, but I don't know if that's true, Gegard, because you have a bigger name now than Chris Weidman did when he was champion and fought him. So why are you putting out this negativity? We have to believe it, achieve it.
It's
being
about
real.
making money. I think
Sure.
for Anderson. I don't know if he's gonna sell a lot of pay-per-view fighting me or fighting GSP. He's 41. He doesn't need to prove himself. He's just looking for the special fights.
Right.
It's not like he want to be a contender and go for the title again. So he's in a different position, Even Vitor Belfort, he took that fight because he was in that position to take the fight. Because before he was going for the title, he didn't want to have to do anything with me. He said Mousasi has to earn his way to fight me. But after 2 losses, the other guys were all booked. He fought already them. So he didn't have a choice. He asked me. He asked UFC to fight me. It wasn't like I just asked and they gave it to me.
Yeah.
No, he asked for me, and that's why they give him the fight. Otherwise, they still would give me some Mickey Mouse fight,
I like that. I like that term, Mickey Mouse fight. You say that you want to come back relatively soon. Does that mean in 2016, like you'd like to fight before the year is over?
Yeah, December. They give me a fight, I fight. And then I have 1 fight, and then I have to take a big fight. But if they come with a big fight and they say, but otherwise they're gonna keep me for a long time till some of those guys fight, and then they give me a fight. But then they're gonna put me on the sideline for a long time. I don't want that.
When you say then you have 1 more fight, does that mean that you're going to look to fight out your contract and test free agency to see what's out there for you? Is that what you want to do?
No. My goal is just to go for the title. But, let's say I don't get the title shot. I want to finish with a win, You have to go strong in the negotiation table. You know what I mean? If I'm a contender and I go to the negotiation table, then, of course, they're going to get the price up, So it's just being smart. And, my time will come. I don't feel like they can beat me. So, but just timing, I have to be patient. These 2 fights, finish it with wins. And then I'm a contender, and then I'm going to go for the title, and then they have to pay me.
But what if they say, okay, we're going to give you a big fight, but we want you to sign like a new 6-fight deal or something like that before your contract is up? Will you do that?
Well,
or
if they pay me enough, I have no problem. My goal is to win the belt.
Okay.
Sooner or later, I'm 31. You look at these guys that are fighting. They're all 38.
Yeah.
They're all 40. I am the future, at least. Even if I'm not a champion, I'm the future. I'm going to be in the top 5 always. I'm going to be in the top 10 always. So they're going to need me anyway. Who's new guy? What is this Australian guy?
Robert Whittaker.
Yeah, Robert Whittaker. He's the only guy that's young, but I don't see him being as the new Anderson Silva or something like that, you know?
Sure.
So they're going to need me. I can at least fight for another 6-10 years.
Wow.
So if I want, I'm not saying I'm going to, but so, you know, I feel I have a strong point. And, you know, I've been always in the co-main event, main event. So it's not like I'm an average fighter.
Considering how you feel about yourself, the role that you're on, Michael Bisping wins the fight, you know, in the main event. He mentions Weidman, Romero, Jacare Rocco, does not mention you. What was your reaction to that?
Well, you know, those guys are ahead of me probably. You know, I can't say anything, but, you know, I fought Dan Henderson. You saw how I beat him. And then even at this age, Michael Bisping went 5 rounds with him. You know, if I would fight Michael Bisping, I would be the favorite. Everybody knows that. And but he's gonna look for the fight that's. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna give him. He has to fight one of those guys. So it makes sense that he didn't mention me. I'm not. My feelings are not hurt. But who gives a fuck? I need one more win, and then. You know, I'm a contender also.
Do you think back a lot to December? You were supposed to fight Bisping. You get the call in December that he's now fighting Anderson in February. Do you think that a lot would be different now had that fight remained and Anderson didn't come in and get that fight over you?
Well, I had that fight. I was supposed to fight him in the UK, and then, I don't know, probably Anderson called and he said, I want to fight Michael Bisping. And they gave it to him, you know.
But you had a signed contract, right? You had already signed for it, right?
Yeah, I already had signed the contract. They pulled me out of the card. And then I had to fight DC. I was in shape. I told this many times. I was in shape. It was me or Anderson. Anderson had the operation. He was on his couch. They woke him up and gave him the fight, you know. You know, so, you know, sometimes, but, you know, my time is going to come, you know. I don't know. We'll see.
I got to ask you, what happened with you and Conor McGregor? Is this for real? Did he write to you something? What is it's all over the news?
Well, that ginger-headed fuck is retarded. I think, you know, I said he's not a, you know, in the interview I mentioned they were talking about respect or whatever. And then he texted me on, what's it called? Twitter.
Direct message.
And, he was messaging, and I said, what you gonna do with your 50 kilos? You know? And then he was, I don't know, he's being philosophical or whatever the fuck he was writing. He was like, knife is lighter than a pound, it can cut to ear, whatever the fuck he was writing. You know, that guy is a bum. He's a 60-kilo guy. What the fuck he's gonna do?
Wait a second. Was it really him?
If he's face-to-face, he's not gonna say that, but, you know, Twitter gives some people courage. I don't know.
Was it really him, or was it someone pretending to be him?
No, it was him. It was his account.
So after you talked about him, he then wrote you, or did you write to him first?
No, I didn't write him because I said some comments about him, and so he wrote me.
Wow.
I don't know what he was mentioning with the knife. He was saying he's being philosophical. What's it called? Do
you want to read it to us, just so we have it?
I don't have it with me now,
okay.
But he was like, I don't know. He put a lot of thoughts in his message. The guy has a lot of time. I don't know.
And how did you end it up?
Well, I said say it to my face, but I bet he's not going to do that.
Were you shocked when you got this message?
Well, you know, I don't do my Twitter, so my manager told me. I don't care, you know. The guy can come and say it to my face.
Wow.
But, Twitter, you know, social media, you know, everyone on social media can be a how you say, his courage go up, you know.
Sure. What a revelation this is. So you're not a big Twitter guy. You're not a big social media guy.
No, I'm not really. I'm not so much in social media. I post sometimes and I have fights. My manager does that a lot, you know, the pictures and stuff like that. But I have better things to do than social media.
I like, by the way, when you gave the media the double birds when you weighed in.
You know, I was pissed off, and they say, come back, do some pose. I said, yeah, good enough, and that was it.
Did you just wake up when you did
weight cutting? You know, you're irritated anyway. No one is happy.
Sure. Did you just wake up when you did that?
Yeah. Actually, because I woke up, I went to the sauna, I made the weight, and then I went on the scale.
I love how it always looks like, did your parents ever tell you that your posture isn't great? Like you're always kind of looking like, I don't really want to be here. I just woke up. I love that.
Well, I don't have a good posture because my back is a little bit, how do you say, crook.
Oh, okay. Well, now I feel.
So it's not the right way to posture, let's say. But it is what it is. I'm not a model. Who gives a fuck?
I like it because it makes the opponent feel like I don't really care about you. I'm going to go out of bed, I'm going to beat you up, and then I'm going to go back to bed. That's the kind of the impression that you give off, and I like that.
I think I'm a different fighter now than 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And since USADA came, no one has ever done anything to me.
Right.
Come on, and let's test anybody. Let's test. No problem for me.
So looking at the rankings now, Rockhold, Weidman, Jacare, Romero, they're all booked. Anderson, you said, is doing a movie. Then we got Whitaker, Brunson, they're booked. You just beat Belfort. And then the next guy is Uriah Hall. Is that a big enough fight for you now to get that one back?
Uriah Hall is always a good fight for me.
Yeah.
Because people that think he's going to beat me again, they should put their money on him if I fight him again. If they're so much confident that it wasn't luck, they should put their money on him. I will bet money on him if he wants, but that's how I'm sure I'm gonna win. With him I was too aggressive.
Right.
I wanted to finish him, make a statement. Where Joe Silva said, "Well, you should have your last performance. You got a decision. You have to put some people away. Whatever." But I'm not listening to those guys anymore. I'm just gonna fight the way I want to fight.
Is that the worst moment of your career, that loss? Because you feel like you were a better fighter?
That's a loss that sticks out, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he had a couple more, but that one, I was in very good shape. I was in a top shape. And then coming at a very bad moment because I was wanted to have a couple wins. And then it set me back a lot, so it was difficult.
Well, what a story this has become. Gegard Mousasi, the reinvention, if you will, of your personality has just been, to me, one of the funnest stories of 2016. What a joy it has become to see you sort of come out of your shell and do these interviews like this. It's really great, and I give you a lot of credit, Gegard, for saying what's on your mind, not sugarcoating it, and just putting it out there because clearly it's working. You moved up 4 spots in the rankings. You're getting these big name fights. Good for you, my man. So continued success.
Thank you, my friend.
Congratulations, and I hope you get that big fight next.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Ariel.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon. There he is, Gegard Mousasi. Always a pleasure to talk to the dream catcher on this show. A quick update for you. We were talking to Mike Perry. Contrary to reports, he is not fighting Matt Brown. He is fighting Alan Jouban in Sacramento, that Fox card. So Alan Jouban versus Mike Perry, first reported by the LA Daily News. The great reporter over there, Brian Martin, confirmed by this very show, Jouban versus Mike Perry. So the reports earlier that I referenced were wrong. It's not Matt Brown versus Mike Perry.